Crime is wickedness. Crime is greed. Crime destroys families. Crime divides nations.
14. Upon further investigation and using cellular phone records, it was established that applicant for Gwabeni was present in the grey BMW that had followed the first deceased and his entourage to the hotel. It was also established that applicant for Gwabeni had hired the grey VW Polo that was used as a spotter vehicle. 15. At approximately 1818, the first deceased and his entourage were transported to Wish restaurant situated at 198 Florida Road, Morningside, Durban, KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa. When they arrived at the restaurant, the first deceased was met by Kweyama, the owner of Wish restaurant. Kweyama invited the first deceased to have haircut at his salon that was based inside the Wish restaurant. The first deceased proceeded to the salon while his entourage sat at the bar area inside the restaurant. After the haircut, the first deceased joined his entourage for a meal and drinks, and they were seated inside the restaurant. 16. Whilst having supper, the first deceased was joined by Tabelo Mutswane, also known as Tips, the second deceased. The second deceased knew the first deceased well, as he had been the first deceased's previous manager. Investigation established that a spotter had been positioned inside the restaurant watching the first deceased. After interviewing Wish restaurant staff, I established that the spotter was not a regular patron at the restaurant. He was identified as an African male and had on the night in question purchased a meal and drinks that was paid for using a Standard Bank card. 17. I applied for a subpoena in terms of Section 205 of the Criminal Procedure Act 51 of 1977. The information received from Standard Bank upon Section 205 subpoena established that the Standard Bank card belonged to applicant number 5, also known as Lindo. It was further established from an analysis of the opening documents of the Standard Bank account that the said account was opened on the morning of the incident by Lindogu Mtlalseni in demand. 18. CCTV video footage from outside the Wish restaurant revealed that a grey VW Polo stopped outside the restaurant around 21:17 whilst the first deceased was inside the restaurant. The clothing of the person that alighted from the vehicle and entered the restaurant was the same as seen in the video footage, as being the African male that was later identified as applicant number 5, Lindo. The tracking report on the grey VW Polo places the vehicle in the vicinity of Hilton Hotel and then later at the Wish restaurant around the same times. The first deceased is at these respective places. 19. Sometime later, around 21:35, a white Mercedes-Benz C200 was also spotted passing the intersection of Montpellier Road and Gordon Road, traveling towards the direction of the Florida Road. After the Mercedes-Benz passed the restaurant, it came to a stationary position approximately 100 meters from the restaurant. 20. At approximately 22:18, the first deceased and his entourage, accompanied by the second deceased, exit the restaurant through a passageway leading onto a pavement on Florida Road. During this time, the two shooters can be seen on the video footage crossing Florida Road towards the Wish restaurant from the direction where the white Mercedes-Benz was parked. The first deceased is seen on video footage talking to the second deceased and hugging him. A suspect wearing a white cap approached the deceased from behind. At the same time, another suspect wearing dark clothing and a cap is also seen having positioned himself between the two vehicles. 21. The first suspect is further observed armed with a firearm approaching the deceased and shooting him in the head. The second suspect maintains his position and simultaneously fires shots in the direction of both deceased. The first deceased falls to the ground and the second deceased runs into the passageway and falls. Both suspects are observed fleeing the scene by crossing over Florida Road towards the direction of the white Mercedes-Benz. The suspects jumped into the Mercedes-Benz and leaves at high speed. Applicant 1, Lindokuhle Thabani Mkhwanazi, herein referred to as Thabani, cellular phone records places him in the vicinity of the crime scene when both deceased were shot. 22. Investigations were immediately conducted at the scene after the murders of the deceased, and it was established that the two deceased died at the scene. 2 spent 9mm nickel cartridges were found close to the body of the first deceased. 4 spent 9mm cartridge cases were found in the vicinity of where the second suspect had positioned himself. Video footage from the inside and outside the restaurant was secured. Postmortems were conducted on both deceased and the cause of death was consistent with the gunshot wounds. 23. The next morning, after interviewing witnesses, I attempted to trace the direction that the Mercedes-Benz have taken after the incident. My colleagues or team and I obtained CCTV video footages from various sources to determine the direction and the number plate of the Mercedes-Benz. After viewing the video footage, I established that the left front headlight was not functioning and that the registration of the Mercedes-Benz was ND901841. Investigations were then conducted to determine cellular phones that were active on the path that the Mercedes-Benz embarked on and at the crime scene.
Okay.